Despite the rank crisis, customs, inflations, and whatever the fuck 2026 decided to throw at us, we're still building PCs, baby. Why? Because stopping would mean thinking, and we don't think. We brute force our way towards, and we don't think here. We just work. Welcome back. Today's build isn't insane. It's not a dream setup. It's just enough to get you gaming. It's just enough to get you editing your depressed videos, just like I do. And let's start with the CPU, which is the Ryzen 5 2600. It has 6 cores, 12 threads, boosts up all the way to 3.9 GHz, and it's unlocked for overclocking. So is it powerful? Kind of. But it is stable, it does the job, it's more than enough. Unlike me, I'm not enough. And the good thing, you can upgrade it later to, let's say, a Ryzen 5 5600 without replacing every part. You only need to replace the CPU. For the motherboard, we got an Asus B450M, which has 4 RAM slots, 1 M.2 slot, and it can handle all the way up to a Ryzen 7 with no issues. So you can easily upgrade the CPU to a Ryzen 7, 5700X or 5700 or even a 5800X with no issues. So yeah, technically there is a room to grow in this build, but it's not huge. For the RAM, we got Lyser, I think they're called, 16 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes each at 32 megahertz. Enough to game, open Chrome, and question your life choices at the same time. For the storage, we got a Golden Fur 128 gigabyte SSD that is more than enough to install Windows in one game, so choose wisely. We also have a 500 gigabyte HDD that was manufactured in 2025 for reasons that I cannot explain, because apparently they expected that SSDs would go super nuts in 2026, I guess. For the power supply, we got the Ago Warrior AK600. This power supply is truly a 600 watts power supply on the 12 volt rail. So this power supply is great. It's just non-modular, meaning the cables are permanently attached, just like your responsibilities. You don't choose which ones stay. For the case, it's just a used case that I found. It's called Victor. It has 4 Molex fans. It has 3 USB ports, an RGB button in case you want to be depressed in rainbow mode. And finally, the GPU. I picked the legendary Gigabyte GTX 1660 Ti. 6 gigabytes of VRAM, around 5.5 teraflops of raw power, so it's more than enough to play most games except for like maybe a game or two, but other than that, you can play all games with no issues whatsoever on this GPU on 1080p. And we're gonna see that in the benchmarks. I didn't film the full building process because I've seen it 100 times. At this point, you just build it blindfolded, I guess. You don't really need to see it again. So let's just start with the benchmarks. And the first game we have for today is Counter-Strike 2. We're pulling off around 90 to 100 frames per second. The settings are on low except for the FSR. I disabled it. I mean, it's enough frames to enjoy the game casually, and if you want to go competitive and get like 140 frames consistently, you can maybe upgrade the CPU or maybe even overclock it a little bit to juice in some more frames. Other than that, the game is more than playable. It is enjoyable with no issues whatsoever on this PC. And take a look at the temps. They are super fine. The PC is really chilling. There's no issues at all. Next up, we got Cyberpunk 2077. We put the settings on high. We put FSR to quality, of course, on 1080p. And we're getting 60 frames per second, almost the exact sweet spot of settings for Cyberpunk on this PC. And honestly, this is more than enough. Like, what else do you want in a story mode game? You don't really need any more frames than this in a story mode game. So this PC can run any similar game to Cyberpunk with no issues on 60 frames or even more. As you guys can see, we're climbing all the way up to 80 frames per second. Next up, we got Alan Wake 2 on 1080p with FSR set to quality and settings set to medium. We're getting around 70 frames per second, which isn't all that great, but it's more than enough. And keep in mind, this card doesn't have ray tracing cores, but despite that, we're getting 60 frames. So overall, it's a great experience in Alan Wake 2. Next up, we got Fortnite. We all hate Fortnite. I especially hate it for multiple reasons. For some reason, it keeps lagging in the benchmarks. Anyways, we're getting around 80 frames per second. Yes, the 1% low is awful, but that's not my fault, not the PC's fault. It's Fortnite's fault. So yeah, sometimes it's actually external reasons why you're failing and not yourself. Cut yourself some slack sometimes. Anyways, experience is okay in Fortnite. And next up, we got Forza Horizon 5. We put the FSR to ultra quality and the settings to high, and we're getting around 65 frames per second. For a car racing game, this is more than enough to enjoy it with no issues at all. The graphics is great. The temps of this PC are great with no issues. We're looking at less than 60 on both the GPU and the CPU, so I don't know what else you could ask for. For only $400, we're playing modern titles with no issues. And next up, we got Ghost of Tsushima. We're pulling off around 70 to 80 frames per second on Ghost of Tsushima on high settings. Keep in mind, it's a modern title that we're running on a $400 PC, despite all the crisis of RAM and SSDs and everything. So I would say the experience is really great in Ghost of Tsushima. The temps are great. Lovely experience. Next up, we got Horizon Forbidden West. With FSR set to quality and settings set to low, we're pulling off 70 frames. The graphics is great. The experience overall is smooth. There are no drops, no issues whatsoever. Like, this PC is really great for the price that you're paying. It's really balanced. You can play whatever game you want, as you guys can see. And next up, we got Red Dead Redemption 2. We're pulling off around 60 frames per second. We're using 10 gigabytes of RAM for some reason. Overall, the experience is really good in Red Dead Redemption 2. Next up, we got Dying Light the Beast. I let NVIDIA control panel decide the settings for me, and we're getting around 50 frames per second on FSR quality. It's a 2025 title that we're running on a $400 PC. What more could you ask for? Next up, we got GTA 5 Enhanced. We put the settings on Ultra, the maximum settings possible on 1080p, and we're pulling off around 90 frames per second. I mean, come on guys, what more could you possibly ask for at the price of $400? We're playing every single game, including modern and old games like GTA, with no issues at all above 60 frames per second, except for Dying Light the Beast, we were pulling 50 frames. Next up, we got Minecraft, and honestly, Minecraft isn't even that heavy. I just put it for a CPU benchmark. Keep in mind, this is a new world, so yes, we are getting drops, but the reason for that is that this is a new world and it's still rendering, and I'm still exploring the world, and so these drops are to be expected for this price range until you play the game for a little bit, let's say half an hour or something, until the CPU renders the world, etc. So overall, the experience is more than acceptable, more than playable in Minecraft. Next up, we got Metal Gear Solid Delta. We put the settings to as low as possible, and FSR to quality of course, and we're getting around 50 frames per second. Keep in mind, this is a super heavy trash game, but despite that, we're pulling 50 frames. Next up, we got The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. On low settings, on FSR quality, we're pulling off 80 frames per second, or the average can be like 60 to 70 frames per second. And honestly, again, 2025 title on a $400 PC. Come on guys, like, this is great. Like, this is great. Despite the rank crisis, despite every single issue that we're going through in 2026, I managed to build this PC. So, to summarize this video, I absolutely do recommend that you build a similar PC to this. If you're broke, I do recommend this PC to everyone who wants to play on 1080p, 60 frames, except for maybe competitive games, you maybe can get to 100 frames like we saw in Counter-Strike 2. And so, overall, I love this PC. It is lovely, and it is more than enough to get you going. So, if you like this video, please subscribe, put a like. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you in the next one.